Hello YouTube, HomeTheaterJoe here, and as usual, I hope y'all are happy, healthy, and doing well. Here is the star of today's show, the Emotiva Basics MC1 13.2 channel home cinema processor. Try saying that 3 times fast. Boom! This video is going to be just a quick overview of the processor, and we will do more entries on what exactly this machine does and does not do. For now, let's focus on the front of the machine. Take a look. Going from our left to right, we have 2 input buttons that will cycle left or right through the inputs. This would be HDMI 1 through 6, ARC, eARC connection, your analog inputs, etc. Moving next to that, you have 2 buttons for mode, cycling left or right through mode, which will give you your sound fields. DTS, Dolby, stereo, multi-channel, Dolby upmix, DTS-X upmix. In the center of the machine, down at the bottom, is the power button. Above that, we have a small LCD screen, typical Emotiva, blue lettering, very beautiful. Of course, we see the Emotiva logo right there at the top. Moving all the way to our far right, we have a simple volume knob. And right below and to the right of that, we have the Basics logoing. And I did forget to tell you, on the bottom left is the MC1 logoing. So overall, I feel a beautiful piece of equipment. Looks very good in the rack. However, for me, this piece of gear and all my other gear is tucked away inside a media closet outside the room, so I don't see it. Aesthetics will be in the eye of the beholder if they are pleasing or not. So let's go ahead and turn this guy around, look at the back, see what we have back here, or maybe what we don't see. All right, so here we are at the back of the MC1. Again, we're going to move from left to right. We're just going to identify what we have. Again, we'll talk about features and lack thereof at a later date. So, moving from our left to right, we can see up top left 2 XLR outputs for subwoofers. Right below that, we have the RCA outputs for our subwoofers. And if we move over, we're just going to stay at the top of the machine right now in the black. We have 4 analog inputs. Those would be for things like your phono or turntable, CD player maybe. Not quite sure why we keep doing all this legacy stuff, but we do in 2022. Sorry, I probably just made the old gearheads really, really mad. All right, moving to the left of that, we have our 2 coaxial in, okay? Then we have below that 2 optical inputs. And to the right, we have our Bluetooth antenna. Moving to the right of that, we have our EmoQ input for our calibrations. Moving even further to the right, we have an IR in right next to a trigger out. Next to that, we have the USB update stick. Input there, we have the USB next to it. We also have the RS-232 connection for a PC. Now, if we go to the bottom of the Bluetooth antenna, we can see that there are 2 HDMI outputs. Only one of these is eARC capable. There are some other caveats to be discussed with the HDMI outputs. Again, we'll get to that in a later date. And exactly to the right of that, we have 6 HDMI inputs. These are all 2.0 AB inputs. So, no 2.1 features on this piece of gear. Now, if we move back down to the all the way at the bottom there, we can see 13 RCA inputs. Again, this is another quality that I really like about the MC1. They have not put the subwoofer inputs mixed in with the 13 channels. They have kept that separate. We'll get to that at a later date. If you move to the right of that, we see our AC power input, and then all the way right of the machine in the bottom right corner, we have the power switch to toggle either off or in standby. Now, then we're back at the front of the MC1. Most assuredly, there were probably a good bit of things that I did not say that the MC1 had. And again, that is true. This is an entry-level processor. As far as I can see, this is the most entry-level pre-pro that you can acquire now on the consumer market. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a great thing. As a matter of fact, there's one word that I believe can be used to describe this piece of gear. It is one word that I thought of before purchase while researching the product, and that word has stuck with me since now, having it for 2 or 3 weeks and running some testing, which again, much testing has been done, and we will release that at a later date. The word that I am speaking of when it comes to the Emotiva MC1 is simplicity. Some people may view that as a bad term. I view it as a good term, a even great term in this context. So, this has been our first look at the Emotiva Basics MC1 13.2 channel home cinema processor. I really hope that you guys have gotten to be able to take a good look at the equipment here, see what it really looks like in person, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're just as excited as I am to bring to you the usage case scenarios, what we found, what worked well, and hey, quite frankly, what didn't. So believe you me, lots of information to come, still to come on the MC1. So I think this is a good time for us to break this one, and we can wrap a medium-sized bow on this. If you have any questions or comments, good, bad, or indifferent, please drop them down below. We only encourage communication here in this community. We believe that information sharing is the way to go. It's the way for us to gain more knowledge, be smarter, be better, move forward. All right. Think you know what time it is? As always, thank you for listening. Be good. Be safe. Boom.